Alright, so let's see. Everything working all right? Alright, hello. Can everybody hear me? Hello. Alright, can everybody hear me? Well, yes? No? Testing 1, 2, 3? Alright, everybody. Welcome back to Orangesuke Gaming. Last time, we started off Endwalker, and when we got in, I was able to get through the first Reaper quest line, and we did an hour of that, and then we did an hour of MSQ, which wasn't really that much. So today we're going to do 3 hours of MSQ, and we'll see how far we get with that. But before we continue, if you haven't already, and you enjoyed what you see here, make sure to leave a follow here on Twitch. If you want to help support the channel, like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel as well in order to stay up to date for when I go... No, not when I go live next. That's Twitter. You follow my Twitter if you want to stay up to date for when I go live next. Check out my YouTube, and like, comment, and subscribe to there if you want to. I'd love to hear your feedback on my videos. I think I've improved quite a lot over the years. We're only approaching 1 year in like 2 weeks. But yeah, let's get started, or should I say possibly started? Yeah, we're still in queue. Yeah, so the 2002 error seems to have dropped down a lot lately. I haven't seen it all that often anymore, which is a good thing. Just making sure that my remote stays intact. But yeah, we should be able to get in sometime soon, and once we get in, we will be set for some more MSQ. Now, last time where we left off, we had just arrived in Old Sharlayan, and we were taken on a tour around the place, and then we met up at the Students of Baldesian? Whatever the fuck. Kryle's organization. We met up at their house, and while we were there, we learned about what we're going to be trying to do, and that we have 2 separate areas that we can go to. One of them is Radzat Han and Thavnir, or we could continue figuring out what the fuck is going on with Sharlayan and what they're trying to hide. Now, for me personally, out of the 2, I kind of want to choose Sharlayan because I'm curious, like, what the fuck are they hiding? Because, you know, like, that's what we left off with in 5.55. So I want to get that out of the way as soon as possible. Do I still want to travel to Thavnir? Absolutely. But I have no real attachment to the place. As much as... At least, not as much as I did for any other place, you know? So hopefully you guys are enjoying yourselves today. Because I sure as hell am. Or trying to. Ugh. Come on. Let me in. Let me in. Hey, there we go. Maybe I should just start shaking my computer more often. Maybe it'll actually happen. But yeah, one thing that I've been suffering from a lot is, and it's making me nervous about today. And I hope I'm not jinxing myself by saying this. But I've been dealing a lot with, controller drift issues on my PS4. So hopefully that doesn't become a factor, especially considering the fact that there are little quests where I go around and I have to interact with very specific places, and I have to stand there and wait for it to finish interacting. So I'd rather not have anything like that happen. And plus, mechanics and boss fights. Oh my god. Like, there's a crazy story that I could tell you right now, since we're waiting. This is one of the craziest stories that I've ever had happen to me. But one time, while my controller was drifting, this was months ago. This was back when, before I took a break in September. I think it might have been just around the time that Endwalker was announced. And when that happened, there was this... Oh god, I gotta press this again. There we go. I had still been looking to try and complete the mounts for Stormblood, you know? Trying to get all the Stormblood mounts. And one of the very few that were left, and I had started having drifting issues around this time, and that was I can't remember the one. It's the Phoenix one, you know, the one where you have all the phoenixes, and then you have to like make sure that you attack one of them and kill it in a very specific amount of time while drawing it nearest to you, near you and away from all the feathers and shit. You know, like that weird fucking annoying mechanic. Well, considering the fact that I had drifting issues at the time, and I was playing a summoner while doing this. And we were wiping the first few times, so everybody was kind of frustrated. And but you know, like I had always just like tried to stay away from the tethers. I don't want to deal with it. You won't believe what happened next. So then the guys want me to tether the boss. And I knew what this was going to lead to. Well, no, he wanted me to tether one of the phoenixes. So I try to kill it as much as I can, but then my controller starts drifting on me. And so I'm like, oh god, okay, it's a fucking controller, stop it. And while this is happening, meanwhile, I'm just trying to get a move out. Because, you know, I have to stand there and wait a few seconds for the spell to be cast and actually hit. It doesn't end up working. Why? Because I keep on moving forward on accident. Because of the drift. They weren't happy with me. They thought I was trolling with them, or whatever. But I tried to explain, and I'm guessing that these guys were using a keyboard, whereas I was using a controller, because I couldn't type as fast as they were, and they were just jumping right into it before I could even try to explain what's going on with my fucking controller. So... And one time they told me, dude, quit fooling around. You do it one more time, you're out. And I'm just like, bro, I'm not doing anything on purpose. My controller is drifting. I don't know what the fuck to tell you. And look, I don't blame them, but, like, you gotta consider everything before you start, like, being pissed off at someone like that. That could be happening. So here's my lesson. And I probably should have stated this to begin with, so that way they understood what was going on. So that way they wouldn't have put me in control of that situation. Or, you know, just thrown me out. Either one. I would have been fine if they threw me out to begin with. Because then I could just find another one that would be willing to accept that this was happening. And, you know, like, just go with them. But yeah, you know, like, you live and learn. You live and learn. And sometimes that it does happen. Like, this is one of those weird things where it's like, you have some people that are very elitist when it comes to the game. And just get pissed off whenever the hell you do something wrong, even though you're not trying to do anything wrong. Even when you're not trying to do anything wrong, or you're blind to it, or anything, they will just criticize you. And look, that happens. Alright, that happens. It's gonna happen because it's part of the random party fighter selection thing. Like, you don't know who you're gonna run into. You never know. But the thing that I love about this community so much is that, like, even though these kinds of things can happen, like, you can easily get a different person or a different group and just explain the situation. Like, don't do what I did, which was just not tell them that I'm having these issues with controller drift ahead of time. So that way, if they try to put you in a situation where they try to put you in this very vital role, they don't do it. Okay? Because if you get shoved into that vital role and you don't know what you're doing, or you don't know if you can perform that vital role that well at that moment, you know, you can fuck everybody over. And you don't mean for it to happen, but, you know, like, it just happens sometimes. You gotta accept that and move on. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Oh boy. That was a long ass talk. Look at this. 128. Look at that. just explaining that whole entire thing. Went down from, what was it, like 400? Oh yeah, and I've also been leveling Reaper. I think I have him up to level 74? 75? No, 74. 74 was what I left him at last. And we will be doing more of the Reaper questline at a later point. I just want to get used to my new summoner. So I'm hoping that we get to the new zone. So that way I can actually slaughter some things. Try and learn my new kit, because I haven't gotten the chance to test it out for myself. I also feel like I want to try and do better with voice acting the characters, you know? Like, I've tried the best that I could before, to give them different voices and stuff, but I never really, like, let it stick. Probably because I'm forgetful. And that might be part of it. But yeah. You guys have no idea how much this game means to me. I'm sure that if you guys already follow my Twitter, you've seen the post that I made last night about the Game Awards. And how much I honestly felt really grateful that they won the award for best ongoing game and best community support, because first of all, they've earned both of those. Like, I'm sorry Fortnite fans, I'm sorry, like, League of Legends and Apex, I mean, and Call of Duty, or even Genshin, or Janshin, as that one chick put it. God, that was hilarious when that happened. Oh God. But none of those people have really earned it like 14 did. Like 14 is just it's something else. It's a whole different level of storytelling experience and care and joy put into it. It just loves to tell its story. And it's not afraid to have goofy, funny moments, too. Kind of like Persona does, but you know, Persona just... Oh, we got in. Alright. I'm gonna have to make my way back to that area in Sharlayan again. Oh boy. Come on. Look at the world map now, my God. And here's Stavnir, over here where Razathan is. It's like the map has expanded, but not only is it expanded, but it's... Alright, we're in. And there's my level 74 Reaper, so let's change to my Summoner. Now, where were we when we last left off? I love the new Ethernet system, by the way. It makes things really easier to find. I think it's the Ball DC and Annex. Yeah, I think this is it. Yep. Alright. I mean, we're gonna take them both, but let's start with this one. Cryo, okay. Oh, shit. Let me, move this up here. An unsettling change has come over Sharlayan, but together we will divine the underlying cause for the form's callousness. As I mentioned before, however, questioning the counselors directly is a fruitless endeavor. They seem to have already come to a consensus as to what and how little they are willing to divulge, which is why I began scouring Sharlayan's archive of historical records for any hint of a connection to the final days. Suffice it to say that progress has been slow. There are only so many dusty pages one can skim in a day, but now that I have this band of willing reinforcements, the search should proceed all the swifter. Let us reconvene outside Numenon, then. Shall we? Exit the annex to the right, and you'll find the archives on the western edge of the woods. Okay, then. And then we got Thancred and Estinian, who are headed to Thavnir. I have Kryl's instructions in hand. If you are ready to set out, then so are we. Oh, wait. Oh, shit. Having been to Thavnir before, I can travel by Aetheryte, but what of the rest of you? Another sea voyage would waste time we do not have. Kryl was of the same mind and has already secured the aid of the good folk of the Confluence. We'll take ourselves there. The Confluence, thou sayest. I'm afraid so, my friend. Is there something you're not telling me? Thou wilt recall the hunt for Iceheart, unto whose sanctuary we delivered thee owing to the knowledge of our comrade Morn Breda. Oh yeah, Heaven's Ward, yeah. Morn Breda was an authority... Ah, no. Grab my camera. Just shrink me. There we go. Morn Breda was an authority on aetherology, a field of study she did embark upon in pursuit of her parents' example. Both are authorities in their own right, and both are researchers at the Confluence. Haven't you gone to see them yet? I attempted to do so earlier, but to my shame my courage failed me at the last, as it hath the many times I thought to reach out to them after sending that fateful letter. Neither time nor introspection have revealed unto me the words I should speak, and thus have I kept my silence. Whether you come with us or no is your choice and yours alone. If it is too difficult, we'll manage. You know what? I think I'll go with that voice for Estinian. I think that works. Like this. It is a very good voice. Thou art kind to say so, but I have no intention of forsaking our cause. I shall go to the Confluence, and I shall face that which hath long been overdue. If it's settled, then let us be off. When we arrive, we should look for a researcher named Kite. Kite? Kite? Whatever the fuck. Alright. Let's start with Kryl. So we're going to meet with Kryl outside Sharlayan, is what it's called, I think. I've been really excited since last week to continue this. Oh god. Is this the Confluence, or is this, the Numeron? This is the Confluence. Okay, yeah, we don't want to go there just yet. The music here is beautiful, by the way. I just want to comment on that. Like, the music here for Old Sharlayan is just gorgeous. Although I haven't really heard it during the daytime, so I don't know what it sounds like there. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Not that. Where's my pre-order mount? There he is. There we go. Just wanted to do that really quick. I gotta get used to this new rotation, by the way. Now here's the studium. Might want to grab this ether right here while I'm here. Yep, let's attune. Ah! We've attuned to everything. Hooray. Alright, we're here. What's up, Cryle? What do you want from us? Gonna look at books now? My directions were easy enough to follow, I hope. In any case, you stand now before the doors of Numenon, Sharlayan's grandest collection of books and tomes. This building is actually only an entrance, and one of many at that, for the archives in Numenon extend deep beneath the surface like the roots of a tree. The vast halls of the Great Google Library pale in comparison to Numenon's endless maze of subterranean chambers. Gotta remember to breathe when I'm doing this. Any citizen of Sharlayan is free to enter and peruse its shelves. Well, most of its shelves. Only Archons that are afforded access to certain restricted vaults. I've dispatched Y'shtola and Braha to investigate those. Meanwhile, Alice and Alphinaud will help me continue my search through the stacks open to the general public. Your status presents more of a problem. As a non-citizen, you are only permitted to browse the first floor at the entrance. Oh wow, thanks. Such a dumb rule. Even so, there should be a number of books which touch upon Sharlayan history or foreign policy. Your task will be to find and study the relevant publications. I promise you, a working knowledge of those subjects will make it far easier to spot the sort of clues we're looking for. Let us be about it, shall we? I've told the others to meet us at the stone benches over there once they've found some promising tomes. Happy reading. Hooray, we have to read books. Oh, wow. Let me look down. Oh my god. What the fuck? How far is that going down? Let me see if I can get a good view of this. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are even like 6 floors underground of books. All the same. Oh my god. Alright, let's look at this red covered book here. Let's start. The title on the spine reads Roads of Old, the Colony. Oh, there was a colony in Sharlayan? Of Sharlayan and Gervania? This settlement was originally established as a mere outpost to study the ethereal sea in the year 1311 of the 6th Astral Era. Scholars dispatched to Eorzea found the facilities wanting and their demands exchanged to encourage a gradual expansion in structures and services. Oh, is this about Idleshire? Or Idleshire? It's about Idleshire. Unfortunately, that's not what we're looking for. Alright, brightly colored book. The story of This could be useful. Long, long ago, on an island in the northern sea, there lived a Rogadan man by the name of Neonkrepf. Neonkrepf was a student of astrology, and he divined that a flood of terrifying proportions would soon sweep over the lands of Eorzea. So it was that he built a gigantic ship, assembled a crew, and set sail for that imperiled realm. The flood arrived as foretold, and to the horror, the strangely churning waters drove the people towards the ocean. It was there, however, that Neomkref's crew hauled them aboard his ark. This is literally just Noah's fucking ark. Oh, it has to be on the relevant subject, so that didn't even count the other one that I read. Now, where's the next group? Oh, there's some over here. Time-worn tome. Oh, it's old? Stewards of Wisdom. Let's see. So they built this place after the events of the 6th Astral Era. So this is fairly new in Eorzean time. Forever 20 symptoms? Okay, not right one. Okay, one of these two. Nope. Alright, it's this one. This is the last book that we need. The Voice of a Growing City. Speak with Kral at the Confluence? Okay. That's right outside of here, right? Sorry, were you waiting long? I wanted to make sure I'd borrowed at least a few promising volumes. Alphino and Kral should also be along shortly. I was delayed in similar fashion. As far as I could see, no titles in the Archon stacks mention the final day specifically, so we have no choice but to start with the tangentially relevant tombs, if they are even that. At present, the plan is to skim through as quickly as we dare and share our discoveries as we make them. It would have been nice to invite everyone to the estate. Plenty of comfortable places to read and a ready supply of hot tea. Oh, I was always quite fond of reading outside, but it's not about the little pleasures, is it? You miss your home. It's been difficult. After our arrival, we managed to speak with one of the family servants and ask how things were. It seems our dear father has instructed the staff that even if Alphinaud and I were to return to Sharlayan, we were not allowed to access the threshold. Are they fucking serious? A harsh measure indeed. I hope that our efforts to understand his position and that of the forum will perhaps lead to a reconciliation. We'll mend this rift one day, I'm certain of it. And what of you, Graha? Have you been able to visit your family, or do they not live here in the city? Ah, well, my situation is also somewhat complicated. I was raised in Sharlayan, yes, but I was born rather further away. In the southern reaches of Ilsabard, in fact. For generations, the people have dwelt in Corvos, the coastal region opposite the island of Thavnir. The Elegans founded a city in that fertile land and by ship brought in the subjugated tribes of the Makote to serve as laborers. Of course, the massive earthquakes of the Fourth Umbral Calamity brought an end to the Empire's reign, and when the Fifth Calamity froze the seas, Okay, so the fourth calamity was... I'm relearning the history because when I first started this game, I did not listen to a lot of the things that I was told, so I don't know if we were ever told what the fourth and fifth calamities were, but apparently the fourth was earthquakes, the fifth was ice, and many of the tribes still live in Corvos braved the journey back to Eorzea. My ancestors, however, chose to remain, that they might prevent the remnants of Allegan technology from being misused. Isn't Corvos under Garlean rule? For the past 50 years, yes. Some semblance of local culture remains, as is the case for most imperial provinces, but Garlemald renamed the region Locus Amoenus. Did I get that right? When I was a boy, a nearby town came under the jurisdiction of an illustrious imperial family, the nobles of House Danis. House Danis demonstrated a singular interest in Allegan civilization, and so my tribe was forced to consider a plan of action. For some time already, voices had been raised in favor of abandoning our ancient customs. After all, the Alleganai no longer passed to our eldest children as reliably as it once had. Fear of discovery eventually tipped the scales, and the decision was made to bury our ties to the knowledge and tradition of Alag. As the last child born with the Alleganai, I was given over to the custody of friends and the students of Baldician, who had me registered as a Sharlayan citizen. I never even considered. Forgive me, it was an unkind question. Even Thancred was taken in by Archon Louisoix, was he not? Stories of adopted waifs and rescued orphans seem more common among Sharlayans than you might think. Yet regardless of our origins, we are all provided with an equal opportunity to learn, and with sufficient perspicacity, we outsiders can even learn the vaunted title of Archons. 'Tis exactly why I have such love for this country, and why I wish it to remain a nation of which its citizens can be proud. Hear, hear, another good reason to get to the bottom of the form is stubbornness, aside from the trifling matter of our impending doom. Trifling? Excuse us while we try to make some headway into these books, Orin. More company should be arriving any moment now. That was a lot of reading. Oof, I'm already exhausted, and we're only 20 minutes in. We've returned with our selections. Although I must say, the pickings were quite slim indeed. Mistress Kral has already flicked through every history book devoted to disasters, more than a few which barely made mention of them. As such, we will be looking into research papers on the umbral calamities, as well as articles written by prominent forum members. Perhaps their knowledge of the final days comes from an unexpected source. Oh, hey, Skyro, I didn't see you there. I've been reading a lot, so forgive me if you came in earlier. But yeah, I did get through the queue. How are you doing, Skyro? Speaking of which, might I ask you a few questions related to the final days? I'm the only one here who didn't witness the events of Amarat firsthand, and fear I may be overlooking critical data as is. Hey, that's why I'm here. My thanks. Now, where to begin? Good thing he wasn't talking shit. Yeah, no. First things first, what kind of phenomena did the ancients encounter as the final days drew near? Okay, what do I choose here? Primals of unrivaled power were summoned from the ether. A complete stabilization of creation magics. The worst kind... That one is too vague. This one. Yes, the unfolding catastrophe wrought havoc on all manner of life. The chaos extended to the ancients themselves, causing their powers of creation to spiral out of control. Fear and despair manifested in terrible, tangible fashion. Meteors raining from the sky, fire erupting from the ground, indescribable abominations prowling the streets. That more or less aligns with my understanding. If only the arts of creation had survived until the present day, we might have had something substantial to analyze. To the best of our knowledge, however, those techniques were not preserved or passed on. Y'shtola surmises that the closest known magic is that of the summoning rituals promulgated by the Asians. Was there aught else of note which heralded the approach of the final days? No, we don't want more people talking. We'll do this one. Ah, yes, the Amaratines spoke of it, didn't they? We never did hear this sound ourselves, of course, thrust as we were into the midst of the madness. But it seems that each and every one of the catastrophes was preceded by this ominous noise. Eventually, it resounded all across the star, and not even Amarat was spared. So the ground was crying out, you say. To be considered the harbinger of doom, it must have been quite distinctive and probably quite loud. I'll have to speak with one of Nominon's mammoths and ask after any books which may mention of such a such a sound. Last but not least, would you describe how the ancients sought to quell this unprecedented calamity? What definitive actions did they take? Yeah, they did that. They just summoned the devil. Yes, with Olympus serving as his heart, so many gave themselves in sacrifice to bring him into being. We do not know exactly how Zodiac brought salvation to the star, only that by his god-like will were the laws of nature set aright. Then, once the balance was repressed, the ancients offered up a further sacrifice to heal the ravages of the final days. Lives sprout anew, and it was these fledgling souls they intended to render unto Zodiac, a trade that would have allowed them to resurrect the shades of loved ones absorbed by the primal. Dumb fucks. Or might have, had Venat and her fellows not manifested their opposition in the form of Heidelin. Thank you, both of you. For the detailed review, I feel much more confident now in my understanding of events. With all that freshly in mind, it does make me wonder what the Telophori truly mean when they speak of bringing back the final days. You've seen what they're doing with those towers of theirs. Is forcing people to summon primals a kind of catalyst? Are they attempting to mirror the conditions caused by the unstable creation magic? That's highly possible. Or are they simply using the final days as a figure of speech, a convenient metaphor for the scale of destruction they plan to unleash? But this is all just pointless conjecture at this stage. Let us return our attention to the forum, shall we? We should keep an eye out for Y'shtola, but 'tis time we began studying these research papers. Alright, come on, give me Y'shtola. But how are you doing, Skyro, by the way? I know I tried to ask you before, but, you know, I was in the middle of shit. I'm the last, am I? Well, my expanded search of the Archon stacks produced one or two possible useful books, but I wouldn't get your hopes up. If you recall, Urian J learned of the source's reflections from the Geirun oracles. For its potential to cause panic and confusion, that tome was deemed apocrypha and sealed away in the Great Google Library. 'Tis even less likely that knowledge of the unsundered world, not to mention the horrors of the final days, would be left sitting on a shelf on for any curious scholar to find. It stands to reason that my colleagues, but be they archons or counselors, should perforce be largely ignorant of the subject. Yet when you confronted Master Fortuna with knowledge of the Telophori and their machinations, he scoffed at the suggestion that they posed a threat. He seemed adamant that the Forum would know if the final days were truly upon us, which only supports the conclusion that whatever privileged wisdom is guiding the Forum's behavior, it's being kept secret from the rest of the nation. So is there a restricted section to this library? Because I'll gladly go crack some skulls. I mean, put people to sleep and secretly look inside of the library. Not that I mean to excuse myself from reading duty, whether they contain mention of the final days or no. These books could yet hold something of value. You weren't thinking of leaving, were you? That's plenty of work for everyone. Oh, God, please, no more reading. You labor for what feels like an age as Y'shtola's research assistant. Oh my god. Hey, mission complete. Oh dear, you look exhausted, but what about your studies? Were you able to find any books on the subject I mentioned? Yep. Then the day was well spent. Should you wish to read them again? A Mamet at the reference desk will point you in the right direction. For the moment, though, I suggest you take a well-deserved rest. We might be occupied with our research for quite some time. Let's see what's in this chest. We got some legs here. It's -3, huh? I'm lurking while cooking fried rice. Oh, that's nice. Well, I'm glad to see you here with us as we, as we work our way through the story. Ready for a tea break, Orin? I know I am. Honestly, my neck and shoulders are going to calcify if I don't stretch my legs and walk around for a bit. You know the last stand down in the harbor, don't you? Come and meet me near the outside tables and I'll treat you to their coffee. It's quite good. Oh yeah, we visited there. Sort of, maybe. I don't know. It's kind of visited there. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I have my new minion. Let me find that guy. Where are you, little... Pour him. There you are, little buddy. That's from Final Fantasy IV, by the way. Apparently. We'll find out eventually. I'll be playing that game along with the rest of the Pixel remasters at some point in the future. This isn't where I think it is, right? Yeah, I think this is... Yeah, this is the confluence again. Okay, god dang it. Keep on trying to get myself thrown into Thavnir on accident. Right near Scholar's Harbor. I'm still curious, how in the bloody world is there water flowing out of that shit? Why do I hear lyrics to a song? Magic. Maybe, but... I mean, true, there is magic in this universe, but... like, there's gotta be somewhere where the water comes from, because... I don't think there's a type of magic that can make water just keep on coming out of a jug constantly. As busy as ever, I see. How very Sharlayan that no other gourmet cafe has sprung up to compete for customers. Actually, this crowd gave me an idea. Before we place an order, why don't we ask a few questions and gauge the mood of the city? I'm interested to hear what the average citizen has to say about the Teleferi. We might even learn something new. Worth a try, don't you think? Oh, Alice is accompanying me now. What? What is it? Can a man not enjoy a moment of private respite if you're looking to share... Yeah, there is. Waterga. Waterga still is not, like, the ultimate, like, type of water. Like you still have to cast it over and over in order for that to work, though. If you're looking to share a table, then I respectfully request that you look elsewhere. You misunderstand, sir. We were simply wondering if you knew of the Teleferi. These enemies of peace have promised an end to all we hold dear, and... Wait, you're that House Levier girl, aren't you? And this man with you is obviously a foreigner. I'd heard you were disowned for helping outsiders indulge their barbaric whims. And here you are giving truth to the rumor. I'll thank you to leave me be. I've naught to say to the likes of you. Well, I must apologize. 'Twas foolish of me to expect an ounce of civility from one's own line. Come, Orin. Dicks. And excuse me, sir, I have saved countless lives due to my actions. So fuck you. Call me barbaric. Fucking piece of shit. Well, you just sat here on your ass. Yes, I don't believe I've had the pleasure. Pray excuse the interruption, but we were hoping you might share your thoughts on the Teleferi and their unconscious plans. My goodness, if it isn't the young Miss Levier. My apologies, but I work in the offices of the Forum, and if word reached Master Fortunat that I was helping you... I see, we're sorry to have bothered you. And the words still say the same thing. Oh, is somebody actually going to say something? Welcome, sir. What can I offer you today? What is... Wait, is that Mistress Alice I see there? My word, how long has it been? Far too long. Meet Dickon, the owner of the Last Stand. I used to frequent his cafe on occasion in between lessons at the studium. That seems like an age ago now. I remember hearing that you and Master Elfinote had set sail for Eorzea, but then you never came back. Lately there's been gossip about your father disowning the pair of you. Everything is alright at home? Yeah, it's complicated. And I hadn't expected complete strangers to be so familiar with our situation quite so quickly. Everyone has an opinion, it seems. Well, it is House Levier. No matter how discreet Master Fortunat may have been, news of your family's doings never stay secret for long. Things being what they are, what brings you back to the city now of all times? We have questions, and only Sharlayan has the answers. Tell me, Master Dickon, have you heard anything about an apocalypse called the Final Days? What, like the ends of the world? Nothing like that, I'm afraid. And that's what you're here to find? Information on this apocalypse? Yes, whatever we can learn, unfortunately. Your patrons appear to be unwilling to speak with me. I wish there was more I could do to help. But maybe there is. You're a visitor to Sharlayan, aren't you? Yep. Then few will know your face. We should be able to pass you off as a server with none the wiser. We just finished preparing a few orders. Strike up some friendly conversation while you're setting down the food, and you might just get the answers you're looking for. Is that really going to work when we just had the public official totally recognize us? Not a bad idea, I have to ask. I hate to ask, but what do you think? Hey, you know I got this. That's the spirit. Pay attention now, and I'll explain where each of these needs to go. The tea set is for the chatty group sitting by the water's edge. The omelet is for one of our regulars, a Highlander by the name of Gisla. She's sitting at an outside table with a friend of hers. Behind them, you should see a Mikote gentleman. He ordered the oven-baked lobster. Got all that? If you're not sure, you just ask, and I'll explain again. Good luck. Okay, which one do you say was which again? Fuck. Wait a minute, I have the thing right here. Oh, it doesn't tell me. Wait a minute. Oh, here we go. God, I love that sound, but yeah, that's not what we're looking for. The tea set is for the chatty group by the water's edge. Oh, my tea set. Lovely, thank you. Oh, God, thank you. The Telafohu? I'm sorry, I've never heard of them, or the Final Days. My friends and I are somewhat uninformed when it comes to current events. Now, if you wanted to hear about ritual arcane practices of the 6th Astral Era, common or esoteric, then I'd be happy to tuck your ear off. Okay. You don't know shit. Good to know. Okay, this is the omelet. Ah, finally. 2, 4, 6, 8. Let's dig in. No time to waste. What was that? God. What? The Telafari? Yes, I remember seeing the name in the latest Gazette. That and some grand claim about the end of days. Same old senseless warmongering. When will these fools grow? Tired of spilling each other's blood? Best stay out of it, I say. The Forum made the right choice, and I fully support our decision to remain neutral. At last, the oven-baked lobster is mine. You have no idea how long I've scrimped and saved and suffered to afford this heavenly dish. Well, I hope you enjoyed chatting with that. The Final Days, this is the first I've heard of it, although that would explain why my friend has been rushed off his feet. It must be a busy time to be a gleaner? Is that what that says? You don't know what a gleaner is? They are collectors of a sort. Travel the world procuring things that we haven't got here in Sharlayan. Priceless books, unusual live specimens, and so forth. So named for those folk who trail after the reapers in the field, picking up every grain which was missed. Aye, by all accounts, gleaning is a most meticulous and demanding profession. If these Telafari make good on their audacious threats, then many uncatalogued rarities could be lost forever. Why else would the gleaners be buzzing about in such a frenzy? Watch the harbor and you'll see what I mean. They're carting loads in from the docks all day. It's never been this hectic before, not like this. Well then. That sounds interesting, doesn't it? I think we just found our lead. Any troubles with customers? Were you able to get anyone talking? Interesting, they seem unaware of the final days aside from whatever vague news the gazettes are printing. Even Dickon had nothing to offer, and he's the best source of gossip in the city. If the Forum does have secret knowledge, then they've done an impressive job ensuring no one whispers it in the wrong ear. In any case, thank you for playing the part so well. Here, that cup of coffee I promised. But let's enjoy our drink somewhere else, shall we? Maybe behind the peristyle, away from the gossips and their waggling tongues? That's a good idea. Don't want anybody hearing what we plan to do. Yes, they should do nicely, out of the wind and out of sight.
When our father disowned us, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. It wasn't until much later that his words began to sink in, that I began to feel the weight of what it meant.
Yep. It sucks.
Do you remember when the decision was made to come to Sharlayan? Graham said that the Forum was determined to keep us in the dark, and that Father's venomous performance was part of that strategy, to keep us at arm's length. Perhaps it was. Father argued with Grandfather on many occasions, but never with such dismissive contempt. And when he demanded what justifies the sacrifices we make in war, I honestly didn't know what to say. Neither did Alpha know, I know, but never for one moment did I believe we had made the wrong choice. So all I could do was fume silently.
Yeah.
It was only afterwards that I realized how childish I had been. How being stubborn and self-righteous must run in the family.
Oh yeah, it definitely does.
A civil response, then things might have turned out differently.
Those must be those people that we were talking about. Where are they bringing all that?
They must be ferrying goods to Labyrinthos.
Oh, so Labyrinthos is part of Sharlayan location. Is it Sharlayan location? Okay, good.
A vast complex beneath the
Let's
island.
test out how my job is now.
Sharlayan is famous for archiving knowledge from around the
Ready to
world.
kill something.
That knowledge is not preserved exclusively in dusty tomes and desiccated samples. Our living library, comprised of all manner of flora and fauna, is housed and studied within that underground facility.
Good, that means there's shit I can kill.
Still, that did seem to be an unusually large shipment. When I lived here, it was rare to even see such cargo transported by boat.
I'm a charlatan from Labyrinthos.
Wait, didn't you hear something in the last stand about the gleaners coming and going more than usual? Well, I think they're the ones we saw manning those boats. And gleaners answer to the Forum. If the appearance of the Telophoroi prompted this sudden burst of activity, then Labyrinthos may hold a clue as to what the Forum is planning.
Well, I mean, obviously. When you suddenly start storing a bunch of shit out of nowhere, it usually involves something that you're planning. Come on. You gonna register yet? Oh, there we go. We should tell the others what we've learned about the Gleaners. Go on ahead to Numenon, and I'll join you in a moment. Master Diggin will want his cups back. So it seems like Labyrinthos is just literally like a giant, like, studying ground. Now here we go, the Studium. I just have to say, this place is way too fucking gorgeous. It's literally called Tranquility. I was just gonna say, like, it's so peaceful and tranquil here. Welcome back, Orin. We've been for a walk and cleared your head, have we? Oh, I gotta change it again. Not exactly. We did some impromptu investigating and turned up information on the Gleaners. It makes sense. The Gleaners take their requests directly from institutions and bureaucrats, but as you say, they ultimately answer to the Forum. A sudden and significant increase in Gleaner traffic and in cargo certainly gives the impression of an overarching plan being put into motion. Let us see what theory we can build from the facts. As Yashola observed earlier, Numenon's archives appeared to... excuse me. Contain no information concerning the final days. Coupled with what Orin and Alisade learned at the last stand, we can be reasonably sure that most Sharlayans know nothing of that particular period of ancient history. Yet my father and his colleagues are not only familiar with the final days, but are also somehow certain that the destruction being perpetrated by the Telophori is wholly unlike these apocalyptic events. Moreover, the Forum claims to be occupied by a duty of such pressing importance that they saw fit to unanimously deny Eorzea's request for aid. And now the Gleaners, official agents of the state, have been mobilized on an unprecedented scale. I do not think it is a stretch to conclude that the Gleaners' recent activities are in service to the Forum's secretive ends. In which case, our next course of action seems obvious. We visit Labyrinthos and assess the situation for ourselves. And if we're lucky, the Gleaners will be far more receptive to our questions. A fine idea. I'm glad you approve. You won't be disappointed, I promise. As for myself, there are a few more subjects I should like to research. I may join you later, but feel free to leave behind your borrowed books and be on your way. I'll see to it that each is returned to its proper place. That would be a great help. Thank you, Raha. Let's head down the stairs over there, and I'll show you where the entrance is. Alright. Oh boy. Here we go, finally some action. Ready? Labyrinthos is not too far from here, but you may find the path a bit disorienting. I'll take the lead, so stay close. Off we go then? You're not moving. Now look at me, I'm ahead of you. Oh, look. She's actually saying, hey, we should move ahead. Oh god, now you're telling me to run, but wait, I can't run yet. Haha. I'm gonna beat you. think I went a little bit too fast. And up here, I kind of figured that. Didn't have to say that. It's like every time that we go near one of these buildings, this music starts playing. It's really weird. It's like it's trying to foreshadow something. I mean, it's beautiful music, don't get me wrong. You did remember to attune to the Shar back there, didn't you? It will make your life much easier if you need to come back in a hurry, otherwise we should keep moving. Alright, I guess we're going in here. The rostra. And down we go. Alright, here's Kryl. We're all here now, yes? I've taken the liberty of securing permission for our group's descent. Right, everyone, onto the lift and down we go. Now, I remember this zone's music, and I remember it was really awkward and weird. I wonder if it's still the same.
Deep beneath the scholar's city shines a false sun within a fabricated sky. In any age exist those who consider the floor an extension of their bookshelves, and this vault's architects surely belonged to that special breed.
Looks pretty.
If the stack grows too high, start a new one. If no room remains, then make more rooms.
Sounds about right.
A simple solution at first, and then bit by bit, a profound transformation. Knowledge buried beneath knowledge, a growing, creeping labyrinth from which there is no escape.
Okay, now you're creeping me out, Emmett. Please stop. Labyrinthos, the Northern Empty. I wonder what could be here.
Not what you expected. I must admit, the artifice is very convincing. But
Oh,
I
yeah.
assure you that we are beneath Sharlayan itself. The breeze you feel, the flowing waters you hear, all created by the hand of man.
The island is volcanic, you see, and once upon a time this great hollow must have been a reservoir for magma.
Yeah, how did they deal with the
It was discovered
magma?
some 400 years ago, at which point it was repurposed as a storage facility for scrolls and samples and such. Renovations have continued, with nigh on no interruption to this day, with the lower levels still undergoing expansion.
Okay.
Aren't those people gleaners?
Hey, wait a minute, is that a bunny boy?
Aye, judging by their dress. They are said to work alone as a rule, but 'twould seem that rule is being enthusiastically broken today. It may be as you suspected, that they are engaged in a task apart from the norm.
Oh boy.
Let's spread out and get some answers then.
You alright, Kryle?
Did you call to me just now?
No.
No. How odd. I must be a bit dizzy from the descent.
Yeah, sure, I guess.
I'll be fine, I'm sure. Let's get to work, shall we?
Yep. Da, 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 da. Yeah, it's still weird. You want to know what I'm doing? Hauling books and ore and fauna. If it needs hauling, I haul it. Every decade or so, they take stock in Labyrinthos, you know, sort and tidy up the inventory. Never seen an operation like this before, though. They just did one a few summers ago, even. Then, with no warning at all, this mess gets dropped in our laps. Orders from on high, damned if I know the reason. Could be they're changing the layout, eh? Preparing for the next big expansion. Oh, you don't say. Let me think. The Rhea seeds should be item 1058. Cumin seeds 1059. Snurbbleberry 1060, or were they 1061? Ah, my head feels like it's stuffed with moko grass. Why more loads to take out than carry in? Why do all this at once and risk mixing it up? What if someone mistakes the Coarthan carrots or the Girabanian carrots? What then? Oh god, the horrors. They're people mixing up carrots. You hear Talper give me more headaches because you don't have the look of a gleaner, and I'm in no mood for idle chatter. One of my colleagues was so exhausted he took a tumble and crashed into a pile of crates. Now I have a pack of marmots running loose. Something tells me I'm going to help out with those marmots. Any luck, Orin? What tales did the gleaners have to tell? They were doing all these things. So this grand operation began without warning, and for every item they bring in, they're sending more inventory somewhere else? That would explain the haggard faces I've been seeing. We were right, the form is definitely up to something, and they're turning Labyrinthos upside down in the process. Hey, Ethernet access. We would do well to learn more of what specifically the Gleaners are being tasked to do, as well as who tasked them to do it. If you're game Warren, I have an idea. Okay, why am I... Didn't one of the Gleaners you questioned say something about escaping mammoths? Perhaps if you were to help him capture said creatures, he might be inclined towards a more friendly and enlightening conversation. Yep, I'll do that. In the meantime, I will turn my charms upon this Gleaner here. We can compare notes afterwards. Happy hunting! Of course I'm shoved with the busy work in front of my face. That's all I'm ever told to do. I'm kidding. I could help out. You wish to help me find the marmots. I have nothing suitable to pay you for your services, but if you're offering out of the goodness of your heart, I'd welcome the assistance. Hey, you got my back, bro. The name is Aaronville, a friend, specialist in the collection of live specimens. That said, the capture of these Naxian marmots is a trial I've no desire to repeat. Grizzled mice, they call them. For a mercy, there are no other marmot species on this tier at present, so there should be no mistaking our little fugitives. If you happen to catch any, stuff them in the sack, gently, of course. We're taking mouse and we're throwing them in a sack. Where to begin, you wonder? I've not seen any scampering around here, so you'll need to widen out search into the surrounding forest. Be on your guard. There are beasts out there that won't hesitate to prey on a marmot, or you. I'll search the trees to the west. The eastern part of the forest is all yours. Good luck. Hey, at least I know that he's doing something. Oh yeah, I can't fly yet. Shit. Well, at least in this area, that is. Now let's see. Is that a level 80? Oh yeah, I gotta get used to not using poison anymore. Oh my god. Hello, where the wild beasts are. I didn't realize that you turned into trolls now. Death Flare. Am I missing anything? Oh yeah, Dreadworm Trance. Oh, that's no longer there. Searing Light then, whatever the hell that is. Ruin 4. Enkindle Bahamut. It's still there. Try Disaster. Yeah, sorry, I'm just trying to get used to all the new shit that they put on my bar. This will only take a couple more minutes. Alright, I think we should be good. Let's go find ourselves a mammoth. Here, little mammoth. Aha! Grizzled mouse. Here we go. Hey, wait! That little piece of shit. How dare you run away from me? Get over here, you damn mouse. We're playing a game of Tom and Jerry with a... Just to get this guy to trust us and open up. Jesus. All we need is a frying pan in this little mouse's hand, and he'll be a perfect Jerry. Oh god. Oh yeah, it reminds me. Collection. Yep, they are here. How am I supposed to activate Bahamut now? Why can't I? I'm confused. I can't summon my shit yet. What the fuck? Oh, there we go. Okay, I completely utterly missed that. Come on, get in the sack. Gotta kill that mouse. Come on. There you are, you little shit. Nowhere for you to run this time. That was refreshing. God, I'm gonna have to look at my rotation again. Figure out what's wrong and why I can't activate my Bahamut anymore. What have you done to me, game? How did you fare? I tracked down 3 of the pack, which leaves 1 unaccounted for. Ah, there's the old odd marmot out. Wait here a moment while I put our friends in a holding cage. Thankfully, the marmot seems to be unharmed. They have held up well in isolation, but it's much... Oh. It's a good thing we were able to recapture them so swiftly. You have my thanks. Who tasked you to capture them in the first place? Why, the authority in charge of the Labyrinthos, now and in perpetuity. The same officials who have had us working day and night as of late. The honorable members of the Forum. Who else? Suitable for consumption and easy to breed. Those were the 2 conditions I was given for the stock I was instructed to procure. I don't know what the Forum has planned for these creatures, but at the very least, I doubt they'll be served for dinner today or tomorrow. There you are, Orin. Is this the gleaner you mentioned? The one who was looking for lost marmots? Yep. Interesting company you keep, friend. Who are you folk, anyway? I am Kryl of the students of Baldician. These others are my associates. Truth be told, the Forum's decisions of late have not sat entirely well with us. That is why we made the descent into Labyrinthos. We hoped that by seeing those decisions put into action, we might more fully understand their reasoning. Wise and practical. Never hurts to try and gain a broader perspective, does it? Anyway, duty calls. Other mammals to capture and enclosures to empty. Once again, I'm sorry that I can't offer you more for your services. Did you learn anything new from your friend there? Well, you see, he was hired by those people to capture marmots. So we've confirmed that the order for this ambitious operation did indeed come directly from the Forum. However, the Gleaners have not been informed of its purpose. I'd say that fits with everything we've heard thus far. We also discovered when the operation was begun. The Forum contacted the Gleaners guild ship and put their people to this great work some 4 days after the Telophori made their chilling declaration. As seasoned travelers, the Gleaners keep abreast of news from every corner of the world out of necessity. Thus am I inclined to trust that their calendar of events is accurate. Altogether, it gives the distinct impression that this undertaking was a sudden and unexpected development. Yet I find it so hard to believe that such a comprehensive restructuring of Labyrinthos and its archives could have been planned in so brief a window. Now, this plan was long in the making. They were but awaiting the right time to put it into effect. And the Telophori's declaration was what set it all in motion? It seems likely, but let us not leap to conclusions just yet. For the moment, I suggest we conduct a wider investigation of Labyrinthos. The more facilities we visit, the more pieces of the puzzle we stand to find. In that case, now, how about we head to the Archeon? From there, we can reach the lower... Whoa! Kryl, what's wrong? I'm fine, truly. The sudden descent has left me with a bit of a headache, that's all. Nothing that will stop me from soldiering on. Let's be about it then. At least allow me to take the lead. I'm fairly certain I remember the way to the Archeon. We follow the path east through the forest where you were chasing after that mouse or marmot, was it? Anyway, tis the trolls you need to watch out for. Alright, let's head there. Alright. So far, so good with the storytelling here. It's getting curiouser and curiouser. But nothing big has happened yet, so... And I'm not surprised either. Oh, there's the Aetheryte. Behold the Archaean. As Nomenon serves as Sharlayan's literary archive, so does this structure house the city's wealth of material data. The architecture, too, is similar. This building you see is merely the upper entrance, an access point to the vaults carved into the cliffside itself. Within those vast rooms are stored countless samples and specimens, as well as the detailed records which describe them. In a manner of speaking, the Archaeon contains a physical history of Sharlayan's unwavering dedication to the accumulation of knowledge. Good for you. Well, we won't learn anything of value standing out here. Let us proceed into the main building and speak with the custodian. Before we do that, I want to hit this up really quick. Yeah, we need to attune. Now we can fast travel here. Greetings. We are here to peruse the Archaean's vaults. Peruse? You are clearly not gleaners, then. Might I ask your affiliation? We belong to the students of Baldician, but is that relevant? I was given to believe that the vaults, those open to the public at least, were open to the public. Ordinarily, yes, that would be the case. At present, however, access is restricted. Only persons directly involved in the reorganization efforts are permitted to enter. Really? That's odd. Not us, then. I suppose we had better move along to another facility. This building has a lift which connects to the middle tier, yes? Might we at least make use of that? That service has also been suspended, I'm afraid. For the time being, priority has been given over to the conveyance of inventory. Wait, what, so this is as far as we can go? I apologize for the inconvenience. Please come again after our restructuring operation is concluded. By that time, it will be too late, and we were so close to getting answers. We need to rethink our approach. Let us step outside for the moment, shall we? Students of Baldician. What does he have against the students? We are at an impasse. As we have no other leads, should I like to pursue this one further? But I doubt that our stone-faced custodian will be swayed by heartfelt pleas. We must seek another means to access the lower levels. 'Tis likely that the people in this area are involved in the restructuring in one way or another. If we were to ingratiate ourselves, they might allow us to accompany them on the lift. Let us ask around. Surely someone is in need of a few strong backs to lighten the load. Well, we got that one guy from before. He might need something. Bemused students. Am I taking the lift? Oh no, we're just students. They won't let us into the Archaeon even though we found... Actually, we have no idea what we found. There's no record of such a creature anywhere. But I was wandering around Tranquility, and so we thought to donate it to the vaults. Honest little squirrel, don't you think? Well, I suppose we'll have to take care of it until the Archaeon is open again. That's kind of odd, though. Wouldn't they want something that they, I mean, they're seekers of knowledge, right? So wouldn't they want something like that? Something's off. I don't know what it is. Oh boy. We'll deal with you later. Maybe back here. Alright, here we are. What's that? Take you down to the lift with me? Sorry, but not a chance. I've been up and down all day, and only now have I finally found a spare moment to rest. I did see a Gleaner fellow heading out the gate there, though, shouldering a large pack engaged in some manner of task. Maybe he'll be headed down below after he's done with it, whatever it is he's doing. Oh, that must be our bunny boy over here. Because he was wearing a large pack on his back. Yeah, it sounds legit to me. Oh, over here. Aaronville. Quiet, you'll frighten it away. Ah, it's you again. I don't mean to be rude, but I'm in the middle of another task. The cloud can need to capture... It's close, very close. I'll help you out. You wish to help me with this too? You spend your time in unusual ways, my friend. Still, 2 hunters are generally better than 1. Very well. The canal here is a common gathering spot for birds of all kind, but the one I'm after today is the hornbill. Its feathers are green, and its cry a distinctive caw. Single it out and shoot it with this sleeping dart. The effects are short-lived, so I lie in wait down by the riverbank to claim our quarry. Be sure to hit the right one. Yeah, I could just do it from up here. I think I've hit it. Nope. Wrong bird. I think that's the right one. Yes! Bullseye. A little bit too pumped up over there for this kind of shit.
Fair shot.
Oh, he speaks. I mean, I guess he has a name, so.
Nicely done. Let me truss this one up, and I'll make my way over to you.
He sounds kind of Scottish. But I could be wrong. Misplacing the accent there.
There you are. Any new revelations?
Well, let's see. I shot a bird. That's what I did.
So you met with that gleaner again, this time to capture a hornbill.
Yep.
I understand catching and bringing in creatures from the outside, but what's the point of chasing after ones already here?
Oh, it's a simple thing, really. Occasionally, we remove specimens no longer needed for study, or those we've had difficulty raising. But we can't simply turn them loose.
Ah, okay.
Safely returning such creatures to their native habitats is another facet of a cleaner's duties.
That sounds simple enough.
Not in this case, I'm afraid. I've been asked to bring the bird below.
Oh.
The restricted section in the lower levels of Labyrinthos. Open only to a select few researchers handpicked by the Forum. The projects down there are the subject of rumor and hearsay. Forbidden magics. Advanced technologies that can never be allowed to fall into outside hands. Even Archons are not privy to the truth.
Really?
Those who are, the researchers involved in this secretive work, are not permitted to walk freely in the city, and are instead required to live in isolated quarters.
What could a facility subject to such strict security protocols possibly need with a hornbill? An experiment?
Possibly. I wasn't afforded an explanation. But judging by the requisition list given to me and my colleagues, I doubt it's for any kind of advanced research.
Really?
I'd be more inclined to believe we were making preparations to migrate to the south. Mericidia or thereabouts.
What? Why would you say that?
Mericidia.
Much of the flora and fauna we were asked to procure could serve as reliable sources of sustenance. They're comparatively hardy species too, able to endure harsh climates. And among them are specimens known to be effective in improving soil quality and purifying water.
When you put it that way, migration does sound like a reasonable assumption.
Seems legit.
That's all it is, though. An assumption. Through our tasks, we gleaners glimpse only bits and pieces of the Forum's plans.
Yeah.
Our prime concern is that our requisitions, be they living or otherwise, are properly preserved for the knowledge of future generations. Now, I really must be going. I regret that I cannot reward you as you deserve.
No, you can.
Perhaps you might reward us after a fashion then. It is imperative that we reach the lower levels. And seeing as you are already set to descend with your assigned cargo, mayhap we could accompany you as your assistants.
I'm afraid that won't be possible. Once the animals have been prepared for transport, we send them down separately via the lift. I will,
Oh.
of course, follow after to make my report, but I can hardly pass you off as porters when there's nothing left to carry.
Indeed. Pray forget I said anything.
Damn it.
How do you feel about climbing? If you've strength and the courage to brave it, then there is another way down.
You want us to climb down?
This path leads to the 33rd facet, a mine shaft excavated during one of our expansions of Labyrinthos.
Oh.
While I cannot
Seems
guarantee
legit.
that the passage is safe to traverse, it should provide access to the medial circuit below.
I never even knew such a place existed. Thank you. This is the perfect solution.
You're quite welcome, but consider yourselves warned. If the going proves too treacherous, you do well to turn back. I bid you good day.
Well, thank you, my bunny boyfriend.
Well, turning back is hardly an option, not when we've come this far. Let's go and take a look at this mine shaft.
Let's head there. Damn, I wish I could fly in this area already. But I've already decided that I'm going to leave any Ethernet currents alone until I'm off stream, so that way I can give myself something to do in between these episodes. Besides, you know, just leveling Reaper. This must be it, the entrance to the mine shaft. 'Tis faint, but I hear something moving within. Creatures homed there by the researchers, you think? Well, slavering beasts aside, we will need to watch our footing. We should tighten our straps and such before we continue. Alright, let's open this bad boy up. What would this look like? It's just a headband. Assuming everyone's tightened their straps and checked their gear, then I say we head on in. Given the terrain ahead, though, it might be wise to leave some distance between us. We don't want to be stumbling over each other if it comes to a fight. Take it slow and don't forget to check your surroundings from time to time. We can meet up again at the other end of the tunnel. In we go. Hey, we're already almost level 81. That's nice. What the hell is that? Mithril cap. Easy. southwest, huh? I'd say it's above ground, but I don't know if there is one above ground for this area. No, seriously, how the fuck am I supposed to use my Bahamut now? I can't summon anything. Oh, this is an AoE now. That's cool. So it does damage to all of them now. Oh, maybe it's actually over here. Yep, I think it's over here. Bingo. Found one. We'll get this first one to start off with, at least. Essentially what you do when you get to these new areas in the expansions is, in order to make your mount fly, you have to grab these ether currents and, attune to them. Let's see, how many do we have left? Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then 5 ones from quests. Not bad. Not bad. Everyone seems to have made it through without incident. Nothing of consequence, at least, and as promised, the tunnel has delivered us into the medial circuit. As I recall, this tier is where they keep a wide variety of samples for agricultural production. If Aaronsville's assumptions holds true, that specimens are being collected in preparation for a great migration, then we should see evidence of such plans in the area's research projects. Let's follow the path to the nearest farming facility and see what we see. Alright then. Hey, leave me alone. I didn't ask for you. Okay. Aha, now I know where we are. This is... oh. Labyrinthos is host to a wide variety of vegetation, which allows us to conduct studies on cultivation methods utilized in foreign lands. And it is this facility which coordinates and oversees those efforts. The fruits of their research go to feed their Labyrinthos colleagues, or so I hear. More notable successes might make it to the Agora. Foods so exotic you'd be hard-pressed to guess their origin, let alone how they might taste. Indeed, mystery vegetables without a name, only a list of nutritional benefits scribbled on a card. I see no gleaners hereabouts, yet these workers seem to snare that same sense of urgency. 'Tis possible they know something of the Forum's plans and their underlying motivations. Worth looking into, wouldn't you say? I wouldn't say. I don't know. I don't even think we're supposed to be here. See what you can do, coax from the workers. The rest of us will do the same, or cast about for useful clues. Oh, hello. Hello there. We weren't expecting visitors, not with use of the lift being restricted. How did you make it down here anyway? That's not important. The mineshaft, you say? Well, you're a much hardier soul than I. Under normal circumstances, I'd reward such tenacity with a guided tour of the fields, but I'm afraid the Forum has us filling order lists a mom long. Massive yet detailed requests, literal wagon loads of crop samples, and hardly any time to put them together. When I first heard of this grand reorganization, I assumed we would be shuffling around old stock to make room for the new. Then came the orders for ridiculous quantities of seeds we've already thoroughly researched. Passing strange, eh? I pressed for an examination. Exploration was met with vague assurances that all would be revealed in due course. Not the most satisfying answer. So I meant their response to me essentially breaking in is, oh, well done. I can't do anything. Do I have aught to be taken down below? More than I can carry and then some. Most of our stock is sent off via the cargo lift, but some has been earmarked for aerial transport, hence the stack crates that top that hill over there. Gods, hauling the lot up that slope was a job and a half. What crops are we raising? Well, as you can see, this one is a variety of grape. Only needs a good source of sunlight to grow, and the conditions here are nothing short of perfect. Hardly surprising given that it's native to a particular locale in the very place upon which Labyrinthos was modeled, a region in the south of Ilsabard. It boasts remarkable habitat diversity, allowing for myriad flora and fauna to thrive. Chilly peaks in the north give way to swaths of temperate plains, which in turn transition into a hot, humid coastline. Such bountiful territories ever contested, as you might expect. It used to be called Corvus before the Imperials renamed it Locus Amoenus. The Forum saw it not as a prize, however, but as a researcher's ideal environment, one whose climates we strove to recreate within the confines of Labyrinthos. It's since provided a rich foundation for countless experiments in cultivation. Alright, let's look at these stacked boxes. Because apparently that's interesting. Oh no. Alright, time for me to get my companion out. Yo, Zora! You need it. Oh, this poor guy. Probably got his ass beat by one of these monsters. Yes, Yozora, keep me alive. I see an issue popping up here. There's a bunch of them, and they keep on coming after me, and I don't have poison anymore, and I'm scared. That is one powerful tomato. Save yourself, buddy. Ah, here we go. That music again. What are these flowers?
Hard to look away, isn't it?
Who are you?
But they're more than pretty flowers. Heart blooms are attuned to ambient emotion.
Oh.
You don't seem convinced, but believe me, it's true. This ashen grey, for instance, it mirrors the anxiety and urgency of those working nearby as they rush to fulfill sudden orders.
Oh, so it can change colors.
Intense feelings like those spur the petals to change colour.
Interesting.
Bright glowing hues in the presence of joy, dark subdued shades for frustration or despair. Yet even with the collected wisdom of Sharlayan at our disposal, we've yet to identify the underlying principle of this empathic effect. And there are other mysteries besides. Although the flower is extraordinarily long-lived, its low reproductive rate has made it difficult to find younger populations growing in the wild. With too few sightings to map its distribution, and no closely related species to track, we've been unable to pinpoint its land of origin.
They had to find it.
To further complicate matters, every culture, even dimly aware of its existence, has given it a different name and mythos. Our attempts to study it via the historical record have been an exercise in frustration.
I love how they're just telling us to some random person wandering around.
I should one day like to unravel the Heartbloom's secrets. But I'm afraid other duties must take precedence. I will leave you to your thoughts.
Have you learned aught of interest?
Only about these fucking flowers, apparently.
A flower that reacts to one's feelings. Strange. I must say, I have never heard of such a thing.
Cryle, what are you looking?
This is all very fascinating. But as it stands, we fail to gain any significant insight into the Forum's undertaking.
Indeed. While there is certainly enough activity to support Erenville's supposition that a priority has been placed on improving food production, unfortunately for our investigation, these workers were never informed as to how their duties serve the master plan.
Well, I don't think they would tell them at all.
If only we could interrogate the Forum members directly.
And that was...
Isn't that the entrance to the arcade?
Ah, it's our bunny boy over there, isn't it? Yep.
Look, there. I think that's Erenville.
Yep, that he is.
A little difficult to tell from here, but I think you're right. He did say he was coming down to make his report.
Erenville receives his orders from the Forum. Would it not follow, then, that the superior to whom he reports is a Forum member? Or at least a close associate?
True.
You mean to eavesdrop on their conversation? What of the risks?
Ours alone to bear. We won't interfere with Erenville's work, nor will he be implicated as an accomplice.
Yeah.
If you're not comfortable taking part, I can do this alone.
Nay. I said myself that I wished to know Father's intentions. And no answers will be forthcoming should we simply ask nicely.
We can apologize later, should it come to it. Right now, we need every crumb of information we can get our hands on. Consequences be damned.
It might be best if you came along as well. In fact, we should all...
Oh, Kryle's obsessed with those flowers now. She's been acting kind of weird lately. Wonder what's up with her.
Cryer?
Oh, yes. That certainly sounds like a plan.
What are you staring off into space
I'm glad
for?
you agree.
Quickly! Erenville is on the move. We need to get closer before we lose him.
Well, how do we do that without him spotting us?
Almost. I can almost reach you.
Something is really off with her. I don't know what it is. Just trying to contact someone like a brother or something? Sister? Family member or something? Is Kryle still feeling unwell? I've never seen her so distracted. Keep an eye on her, but keep moving too. We cannot let our quarry slip away. You just asked me to do two different things at once. I'll say it's not about to let Erenville out of her sight. Erenville was headed westward along the path outside the Arcane. Come, we can still catch him. Down we go. We're pretty close to level 81 soon. We're already more than halfway there. Why is he a frog? Oh no, we're turning into a frog, aren't we? Hold a moment, I have an idea. If memory serves, that colossal wall-like structure is Logisticon Beta, one of Labyrinthos' climate control centers. It should have its own lifts with which one could access the upper or lower tiers. If I were an agent of the Forum, it would make for a convenient meeting place. But even if we were to if we happen to find Erenville in the company of said agent, we cannot expect them to reveal issues of importance as we nonchalantly stroll past. Nay, we shall have to remain undetected. If only Graha and his vanish spell were here. Oh, but there are other ways of turning invincible. Hippity hop, my little toads. Oh, great. Goodness. I'm a frog! No, I'm in Palace of the Dead again. Unaccustomed to transfiguration? Worry not, it will wear off within the passage of time. I suggest you and your green companions hop along and catch up with Erenville. Should you feel the magic's fading, return to me and I will refresh the enchantment. And what am I to do in the meantime? Wait here with me. In your current state of mind, you'd be as likely to leap into the jaws of a predator as you would learn anything of note. Which reminds me, where are the creatures hereabouts? In that form, you are essentially defenseless. Got it. Ribbit. Alright, I got 29 minutes. I think that's plenty of time, to be honest. Keep away from the giant toad. I think we're supposed to go here. Yep. Hide in the bushes.
You will find your compensation to be more than satisfactory. We wish to make clear that we are pleased with the efficiency and thoroughness of your work. So much so that we have come bearing new tasks in need of your competent hand.
Okay. Just hands them a list of things.
Another lengthy list. If I may speak frankly, the Gleaners have been pushed to the point of collapse by your unending demands. We are not familiars to be exploited. We are Sharlayan scholars and we deserve an explanation for this unseemly treatment. What warrants such urgency?
He's got a point.
In an age long past, Sharlayan was charged with a momentous duty.
Oh?
And now that word of the final days hangs heavy in the air, the time has come for us to fulfill that charge. I can say no more, but I promise you this. All will be revealed in due course. And when it has, you will understand that your toil was in service to the greatest good.
Interesting.
Then I will do your bidding. For now. But unless you wish the Gleaners to rise up in protest, I advise you to offer tangible improvements for our working conditions. Your promised revelation does nothing to address present circumstances.
A fair point. Your concerns will be conveyed to the Forum.
Good. Oh. He figured us out, didn't he? I mean, he works with these animals every single day. I'm sure that he would notice if something was off.
I hope that was informative. You may consider my debt to you repaid in full. While I do have my reservations about the Forum, I want to believe that they have our best interests at heart. Which is why I'm reassured that you're busy sniffing out the truth of things. We can ill afford to place all our eggs in one basket.
Good.
This master plan of theirs, without first understanding the risks involved.
That is true.
Wait! How did you know it was us?
You don't have to ask that.
If you mean to impersonate a toad, try studying the real thing. And don't try to fool an expert.
There you go. You tried to fool an expert, you idiot. I suppose we should have known a gleaner who specializes in animal procurement would not be so easily deceived, yet he seemed inclined to put his trust in us all the same. More importantly, perhaps, we discovered a new piece of the puzzle. This momentous duty the Forum agent mentioned. Sharlayan has been called to action, and the Talafarized declaration was the catalyst. Whatever charge it is they hope to fulfill, they deem it sufficient import to disrupt all of Labyrinthos, not to mention ignore Eorzea's request for aid. Okay, not who I wanted to talk to. I'll say, what duty could warrant the direct involvement of the Forum and the commitment of all its resources? Judging by what we just heard, none of the gleaners were offered any kind of explanation. At this point, it seems abundantly clear that we'll learn nothing new by pressing them further. We should head back to Y'shtola and Kryle for the moment, see what they think of this. Hey, there's a fate nearby. Should I... Nah. We'll be fine. Ah! Go away. Leave me alone. It's odd that we got, like, points just for doing that. Oh well, I guess it helps out in the end, so what am I complaining about? Maybe it's a reward for not, you know, like, skipping the cutscenes, although I doubt they would do that, because people don't skip the cutscenes anyways. Welcome back. I trust you found Erenville, then? Interesting. I had a feeling you would learn something important, even if that something was simply a confirmation that no one knows much of anything. We should share this with Kryle, then discuss how we'd like to proceed. Assuming we could find her back at the farm, she was still behaving oddly, so I bade her return and rest there. Perhaps not the best decision in hindsight. Would you mind checking near those flowers she was so entranced by? The rest of us can survey the more distant areas, just in case she's decided to wander. Okay. I'm actually enjoying this area. It's not that bad. I mean, it could be more like the dome and the artificial sun and all that shit. It looks pretty cool. Now, if only we can make an artificial sun. But I doubt that we could ever do that. Ah, what have I done? Leave me alone! Why did they throw me in a level 81 area when I'm level 80? There you are, Cryo, thank God. Although, what are you still doing here? What are you trying to do? Is she allowed to do that?
For you. The spell will keep it from wilting.
Oh, thank you.
She said you would need it for the journey ahead.
I mean, who said?
Will you speak with her now? I cannot hope to match Minfilia's clarity, of course, but...
Oh, I see what's happening here. Hi, Heidelin.
Thank you. Do not worry. She has lent me her body for only a moment. Just as I could not save the first from the flood of light, it has become arduous for me to interact with the physical world without assistance.
Oh, wow.
Though I might converse with you for a time, the incorporeal form I assumed on the ship would be incapable of casting even the simplest enchantment. It is in the depths of the ethereal sea, the place to which all life returns, where my influence is greatest.
Oh, so you're in the ethereal sea.
After Minfilia's sacrifice.
Thanks for telling me where you are. I'll take a note of that in case I decide to kill you.
Source, where I ferried her soul.
I'm kidding.
I wish that gentle spirit to find rest in the world she loved so well.
We have no reason to kill her anyway, so.
And another who may yet have a part to play, though that will depend on you. Take the flower. Walk free, for you are free to go where you wish, to believe what you will. That bloom will be your guide, test and proof of your conviction.
It's a flower.
Darkness, seek joy. Surrender not to sadness, and see beyond despair. Walk free, and bear the light for others to follow.
Thanks for all
Together,
that.
raise it aloft and let it shine, till the end, blinding and radiant.
Okay, thanks for the speech, Heidelin. I'll take this flower. Break. Mo, you okay?
That was all too brief. Already she seems so far away. My apologies if I startled you. Ever since we began our descent into Labyrinthos, I had sensed another's will, straining to reach out. Even with my particular talents, though, I was unable to make a connection at first, so weak and tenuous it was. Once I took hold of that wispy thread, imagine my surprise to discover it was Heidelin herself.
I'm sure you were so thrilled.
Needless to say, it seemed wise to learn what we could before letting go.
Yeah.
Her answers were more cryptic than I would have liked.
Yeah, that's
But
high
at
loan
least
for
she
you.
left us with a guide of sorts. That unusual flower. Yes, we are definitely making progress.
Yep.
You can't be serious. We've done nothing wrong.
What's going on now? Has the forum decided to arrest us for being a dumb fuck? Oh, it's Daddy. It's Daddy Dumbass.
Master Fortuno, what business has the Forum with us?
Obstruction and suppression, apparently.
Yeah, apparently.
Mistress Baldessian, our records show you facilitated the Scions' entrance into Sharlayan by claiming them as assistants for your organization.
And apparently we can't be?
Aware of your investigations. After alerting the major institutions to the presence of potential troublemakers, we received word from an Archean custodian. A group operating under the auspices of the students, skulking about Labyrinthos and engaging in clandestine behavior.
Oh, wow.
Clandestine? We may not have entered Sharlayan as Scions, but we did naught to conceal our identities.
Yeah, exactly.
Our only purpose in this city is to seek the truth. I can think of no reason why our actions should warrant the Forum's intervention.
Exactly, we have done nothing.
'Tis not our way to discourage the pursuit of knowledge, but the timing of such pursuits must be considered, not to mention their potential impact.
On what?
With the world in chaos,
What are you
we, the true caretakers of wisdom, have committed ourselves to an undertaking that demands the utmost discretion.
Why are you hiding it?
And we will not risk its success by turning a blind eye to disruptive foreign elements in our midst.
You are dumb.
What then is to be our fate? Will you put us on a ship back to Eorzea?
The Forum will convene to examine your case. The results of said inquiry will determine your future in this city. As for your absent companion, he has already been detained.
Graha! But why? Is reading a crime now, too?
I guess so.
Reading is encouraged, celebrated even. Not, however, of the volumes shelved in the restricted section of the library.
There's a This restricted section, of course there is.
Refusing to comply will only make matters worse. Let us instead treat this as an opportunity to open a dialogue with the Forum.
I mean, they're not going to listen, but fine. As long as this prick's a part of it.
Silence is often one's best defense. I would advise against prolonging the proceedings with frivolous discourse. But enough. This is not the place for debate. The rostra await.
Yeah, Daddy's still a dick. Oh wow, we're just entering another cutscene right away. I mean, I'll take that. Why is Graha in the middle of the room? Oh, okay, right. They're detaining him in the room. They're doing a bad job of it, though. He's literally just in the center of it. He could just leave.
Forgive me. I was careless.
You were stupid.
We would have been detained regardless. This way, at least, we managed to stay together. I trust your time within the Forbidden Archives was well spent.
Yep. Good to know.
The forum will come to order. This inquiry is now in session. As Speaker-elect, I will be presiding over the day's proceedings.
Okay, whatever.
Master Fortuner, would you be so kind as to restate the matter which compelled you to summon your colleagues with such urgency?
As you are all aware, we recently denied Eorzea's request for Sharlayan assistance. Since then, certain individuals dissatisfied with our decision have taken it upon themselves to interfere with our work.
We haven't interfered with shit. We just want to know what the hell you're... Why?
They entered our nation masquerading as associates of the students of Baldessian. But these malcontents are better known as the Scions of the Seventh Dawn.
Malcontents. Okay, that's nice of you.
These militants wield influence with both the Eorzean and Eastern alliances, and are inextricably involved with the crises presently afflicting the world at large.
You're also forgetting the first.
Loose in our city, these warmongers sought to meddle with and expose matters of state secret. What are they, if not a dire threat to be expelled?
Even though we built a whole entire peace organization. Okay, not sure. We're warmongers now.
You have tarnished the good name of the students. Galuf would be ashamed.
Oh, you pissed her off.
Galuf Baldessian was never one to forsake his fellow man. Even if this nation closed every door and retreated from the world, he would have found a way to help the Scions, help every soul of this star fight back against the coming doom.
Ah, she got him.
A terrible enemy stands poised to lay waste to all we hold dear. In the face of such madness, Eorzea reached out to Sharlayan, a respected ally, in the hopes of forming a united front. Was your curt dismissal truly the best you could offer? Or are you so preoccupied with your momentous duty of an age long past that even the end of the world is unworthy of your attention?
Yeah, that's...
Whence came this revelation?
From the mouth of a forum member within fortuitous earshot.
Then it seems your findings support my own.
Oh?
The reason I visited the restricted shelves was to study records of the forum's policy-making process, to better understand the historical trends underlying their most major decisions.
Oh?
At first glance, the positions of neutrality in war and the accumulation of knowledge above all else appear constant and consistent, the unchanging pillars of Sharlayan society. And once upon a time, I might have left it at that. These days, however, I am more attuned to the subtleties of governance, and so I noticed something odd.
And that would be...
From a particular point in time, the purpose of these policies shifted.
Oh? And that would... that point in time
No
would be...
longer was knowledge preserved for the benefit of society. Rather, society was to be gradually reshaped to ensure the preservation of knowledge.
That's,
The most conspicuous and telling change was the one which befell Labyrinthos. Once little more than an oversized storehouse, an enormous allocation of funds saw it transformed into an advanced research and archival facility.
they did mention that actually when we entered the
I also
area.
discovered a fascinating account on the finances of our Dravanian colony. The settlement attracted students from far and wide, and the connections and tuition fees thus acquired were funneled into further improvements for the archives. Now, there is no question that our nation's progress is tied to the acquisition of wisdom. Nevertheless, the vast resources diverted for this purpose borders on the obscene. But returning to the matter of when, our change in course appears to have been made some 270 years ago.
What's so special about that?
The very same period when Sharlayan scholars in the hinterlands began a formal study of the ethereal sea.
They found something.
You found something, did you not? And whatever it was, gave rise to your oh-so-important duty.
Just calling him out.
Mind your tongue, Archon. If you had seen...
But why did he do that?
Yes. We are bound by a duty we cannot ignore. Knowing this, what would you have us do? Abandon our vital work and join you on the field of battle? We will never choose the way of the sword. We will fulfill our mission not through strife and bloodshed, but survival. Come what may, we shall live on. We must.
Do as you must, then. But we Scions will fight until the heavens fall, until our last breath.
Hey, she said the thing. She said the thing in the trailers.
Misguided zeal.
And such dumb fuckery. We could understand your point a little bit more if we knew what you wanted to do.
Father, Master Fortuner, I fail to understand the stance you have elected to take. But by the same token, I have yet to find a compelling argument to counter the challenge you put to us in Gridania. Still, in the midst of my uncertainty...
Yes?
I must trust in myself to do what is right, as others have chosen to trust in me. So I will continue, as I always have, weighing the consequences of my every action, and allowing my hope for the future to inform my decisions.
Alphino really has grown a lot, hasn't he?
That's quite enough. Have you all forgotten the reason for this assembly?
Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Right. We're getting yelled at for looking in the restricted section.
He's the head of the studium and an old friend of my grandfather's.
Honestly, every discussion devolves into some interminable debate. Terrible habit. Let's return to the topic at hand,
Yes, please, let's. How are you punishing us? Are we getting thrown out?
By their own admission, these Scions have resolved to fight alongside the Eorzean nations against the doom which swift approaches.
And that's a crime, how?
But there exists no evidence of an attempt to incite our citizens to do the same.
That's also true.
Furthermore, while our decision may well have been the correct one, we cannot simply bull our way through these disagreements without inviting doubts or objections. Put yourselves in their place. Who among you would leave a tome unopened if an elder forbid you read it with no reason given?
True.
Now, if we're to quell further discontent, then we must conclude this matter with a fair and even hand.
Order! We will have order! Master Montaigne raises some valid points. Keeping such concerns in mind, I propose we enforce the following measures.
Yes?
Until further notice, the students of Baldessian are to cease any and all activities within the domain of Sharlayan.
Oh, okay, then I guess we're going to Rods and Harm then.
refrain from any further investigation into the Forum's decisions and duties. Failure to comply with these restrictions will result in the immediate expulsion of your Scion associates.
Fine.
Let us put this judgment to a vote. All in favor, raise your hand. I count 51 for and 48 against. The proposal is passed. Students, Scions, you have heard the Forum's judgment. Pray abide by it, or face the consequences.
Fine.
Honored members, I thank you for your time. This inquiry is concluded.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot that was the mission that we started all this with. My god. Alright. Alright, let's talk to... Who are we talking to? All I see is... Oh. Well, at least we've been allowed to remain in the city, and our endless investigations have not been in vain. We now know that this mysterious duty of theirs began with whatever the Forum discovered in the ethereal sea. With our freedoms so sorely curtailed, however, we will struggle to learn aught more of substance here in Sharlayan. The overall picture has grown clearer, yes, but that's in spite of the Forum being so... Oh. Why are they so reluctant to explain their actions in plain words? Survival come what may, is Father's work so vital that it takes precedence over his own family? Alphino? Alice, is it you? When I heard you'd been dragged before the Forum, I came as swiftly as I could. I am so very glad they allowed you to stay. Mother... That's their mom? I mean, I kind of was hoping that we'd actually get to meet her. Emiliens Levier, at your service. And you fine people must be the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. How lovely it is to finally meet you. The same? Mother, please, we don't wish to make things difficult for you. If word reaches Father that you were here... Oh, bother that. Am I to be chastised for speaking with my own children? I am well aware that you and Master Fortuno are not on the best of terms at the moment, but I've been absolutely desperate to see my darlings again. You will come by the house, won't you? I have gifts waiting. The timing couldn't be better. As matters stand, we shan't be going anywhere until we discuss matters with Thancred's group and consider our options. Go, visit your home. We will be back at the Annex when you are ready to rejoin us. I'm not sure Orin, what do you think? Orin, the Orinduske? What a splendid day this has turned out to be, champions of Eorzea. I insist that you join us. Okay, I'm a little taken back. But we must be quick about it. Not for my own benefit, but should my husband return and find you enjoying our hospitality, the servants will be made to suffer the consequences. Orin, if you would be so kind as to escort my children to the estate? And then she was gone, and with her any opportunities to protest. Indeed, the matter is settled. Enjoy yourselves, you three. Well, that just happened. I apologize. My mother is not one to take no for an answer. Still, I am glad, relieved even, to see her in such high spirits. What say you, Orin? Though it seems we shall have little enough time to enjoy it, will you accompany us on our visit home? Oh, no. I haven't been drifting all day, please. Fine, if we're going, then let's get it over with. But be sure to stay in the entrance hall. No peeking into our private chambers, thank you very much. Why ever not? Your room was always perfectly neat and tidy. Everyone has things they'd rather keep to themselves, don't they? Cherished mementos you couldn't bring yourselves to throw away, childhood toys. I mean, God, never mind. Leviera Estate is that way. Straight downstairs, come on. Oh boy. Oh boy, this is gonna be interesting. I ain't leaving till we get to see this. When Alice and I were little, this bridge was as far as we were permitted to wander alone. I say alone, but my mother or a servant was always somewhere nearby, keeping a watchful eye. And now look at us, traveling to different continents, different worlds even. Yeah, that's gotta be crazy. As children, Alphino and I would often wait here for our father to come home from work. It must have been a day when his meetings ran long, because I remember growing restless and leaning out over the railing to watch the water rush by. Father, of course, arrived at that exact moment, came pounding down the path in panic, crying out my name. That sounds about right. Although totally not like him at all at the same time. And here you are at last. Please do come in. Oh my.
Welcome home, my lady.
Look at this place.
What? What are you gawping at?
I'll say it's like, why are you so impressed? Scion haircut seems squalid indeed. Whatever the hell that means.
I'll have you know I'm quite fond of the Rising Stones.
I know.
Lord Fortuneau is not to hear of this visit. And I should also like the children to have their gifts, ere my husband makes his return.
As you wish, my lady.
What gifts? Oh, do I get one? Please?
Master Alphino, Mistress Alice, if you would accompany me upstairs.
We shan't be long.
Alright, have fun. I guess I'll just stay here.
The twins have been sending letters home from time to time, recounting their latest adventures.
Really?
I am sure they withhold certain details, of course, if only to keep me from worrying. Yet a mother worries all the same. In the early days especially, I tried to support them as best I could, sending the Scion's coin and other such donations.
Oh, really?
Fortunately, they have found the strength to overcome adversity time and time again. Their words grow more confident with every letter, their depictions more vivid.
I'm sure she must have been worried for a
The triumphs
while.
and defeats, the joys and sorrows. 'Tis clear that they have come to find value in every experience.
I certainly
but of
have.
those they treasure most, it would seem that meeting you might be the most impactful. Why, since that fateful day, I do believe there has not been a single missive in which you were not mentioned by name.
Why am I so surprised? Come on.
'Tis plain they care for you, and I am glad they have such a steadfast companion watching over them. Under normal circumstances, I would offer you tea, but alas, these are anything but. In any event, why don't you keep me company whilst we await my children's return? Perhaps you might regale me with a tale or two of your exploits.
Yeah, sure, why not? I got plenty of them.
When you mentioned gifts, I wasn't sure what to expect. Mother,
Oh, look how well it fits you. And the style is to your liking?
Oh, wow.
It's perfect. Exactly what I would have chosen. But please, tell me you had something different made for Alphino.
Naturally. You are hardly little children anymore.
Thank God.
And while I shall miss dressing you in those precious matching outfits, I must respect the individuals you have grown to become. See for yourself.
Alphino, where's your book?
Splendid clothes, Mother. Stylish, comfortable, and eminently practical.
I am so glad you like them. They are, however, missing one final touch.
Oh? Are they what I think they are?
If you would allow me, Master Alphino.
Yep.
Wait. Are these...
A sage's tools of the trade. They belonged to your father.
Oh. That's some,
Though he may as well be chained to his desk these days. As a student, he was often called upon to venture into the field.
Oh, was he now?
He wielded those armaments, both to heal and to harm in no few battles. None so fierce as those you two have braved, perhaps, but battles nonetheless. Thus did I pull them out of storage, to show you that he was not always the man who stands in vehement opposition to you now.
Nice. Good.
And also because it would
point.
be a terrible waste of ridiculously expensive House Leveilleur commissioned artistry. I am told these devices are quite difficult to master, but someone of your extensive experience should soon have them darting about with grace and aplomb. May the wisdom in that crystal serve you well. And please, try to find common ground with your father, that you might come and go without need for this awful subterfuge.
Oh, trust me. I will keep him in line.
We will, Mother. I promise.
And if not me, Alice will.
My final gifts to you, before you run off, are an observation and a suggestion.
Yes?
Firstly, Fortuno has ever been a serious man. But it was only after you were born that he truly lost himself in his work. I may not know the Forum's inner workings, but I know your father's. The timing of that change in him holds some significance. Secondly, do not seek to best your father with words. Far better that you simply show him. Let him discover the merit of your actions. After they cannot be undone.
Ha!
Oh, Mother.
We shall take your wisdom to heart. Thank you again for these gifts, and farewell for now.
Safe travels, my children. Eat well, stay warm, and keep your friends close.
I'm sure they will. Don't worry. I ain't letting them go anywhere. If they die, I swear to God. There are very few things that make me cry, but I'm telling you this. Them dying would be one of them. Maybe. Thank you for indulging Mother's request. I can see it meant a lot to her, and I shall refrain from inquiring as to the content of your private conversation. Our visit was all too brief. For now, however, it will have to suffice, as will these tokens of home that we carry with us. These gifts to help us remember who we are and whence we came. But enough sentimentality. Let us return to the annex and join our companions. Yep. We have 7 minutes left. Thanks to the queue time, that is. So... Alright, let's finish off this quest. And then make our way towards Rodzat Han. Enjoyed your time with Leviers, I hope? I would ask how the twins fared, but their new outfits tell the tale. I only hope we can help them to reconcile with their father, that they might return home one day with their heads held high. In the meantime, we edge ever closer to the secret the Forum strives to hide. And the flower bequeathed to you by Hydaelyn is sure to guide us going forward. I'm confident that once you've scouted out the situation at Thavnir, we'll be well equipped to plot out our next move. Alright, let's start making our way to Thavnir. Which means talking to Thancred. And, Urianger. And Estinian. Alright, we were supposed to talk to this teleporter person, so let's see what they have to say. Well now, this is rather a lot of stern faces. Are my library books overdue again? Not to our knowledge. We're associates of Kryl of the students of Baldessian. We seek passage to Thavnir and understand that you can assist us. Ah, the test subjects. Welcome, welcome. Oh, test subjects? Oh, you hadn't heard? Well, then allow me to explain. So in order to travel to an aetheryte, you ordinarily need to be attuned to it beforehand. Otherwise, you can't use it as a beacon to seek out while you're a mess of ether hurtling along the life stream. An inconvenient but controvertible limitation of aetheryte teleportation, but what if I were to tell you that there's a way to travel to an aetheryte without being attuned to it? Oh? A way to teleport instantly to places you've never been. For long years, we've labored to make such travel possible that people might move about more freely. And we've finally done it. We've created a new kind of aetheryte that doesn't require attunement. Truly, that changes everything. While my language may have been a bit misleading, the user need not attune to these aetherites, but the aetherites themselves must have been pre-attuned to each other, thereby facilitating travel between the 2 points. But it just so happens that of our first test pair of aetherites, one has been installed here in Sharlayan and the other over in Yedil Mod, a port town in Thavnair. As you may know, our nation has long maintained strong ties with Razat Han, and indeed we owe much of this breakthrough to the contributions of their alchemists. So to sum up, we're to test these aetherites. How fortuitous for you. I should mention that an accident has impaired my ability to channel ether. Will this be a problem? Not at all. As a matter of fact, you might say that these aetherites were made for people like your good self. The magics imbued within will whisk you away without any effort on your part. A veritable dream come true. And far be it from me to worry about such things, but do we have permission to make use of your shiny new invention? The only permission required is yours, so assuming you're willing, we're all set. It may come as a surprise, but we actually struggle to find test subjects. Most people seem to have an unreasonable fear of their souls gradually disintegrating as they drift helplessly in the life stream. In the statistically unlikely event that something goes awry, but it's plain that you aren't most people. Mistress Krause truly knows how to pick 'em. I don't like this. If I might change the subject, our Master Wolfson and Mistress Blowida not present today? Oh, you didn't hear? They've recently resigned their posts. Their expertise was needed elsewhere. A long-scale project helmed by the Forum itself, as I understand, but I'm not privy to the details. I see. Any other questions? No? Then let's get going before you change your minds. Please see to your preparations and head outside to the Aetherite Plaza. I'll be along shortly. Interesting. I like the idea of this. Oh, I didn't see this. To Thavnair we go.
Right, we're all set. Just
Good to
the
know.
4 of you, was it?
Yep, just the 4.
3. I'm already attuned to the crystal in Thavnair.
Wait a minute, what?
You are? Oh, I would have preferred more test subjects. Oh, well, never mind. If our 3 travelers could line up here, please.
Estinian, you lying bastard. Wait a minute, when did he go to Thavnair? Oh, wait a minute, he must have gone there on his way to Garlemald. That's right, he's been to Garlemald before, so...
Yes, right there is fine. Take a deep breath, and I'll soon have you soaring through the ether.
If I die, it's on you that we lose ourselves. I'm sure Hydaelyn wouldn't let that happen. Would she?
Oh, and one last thing.
What?
You might experience a teensy-weensy touch of violent ethereal sickness. Good luck!
What?
You tell us this now. And we got some experience. Somehow. Yeah, that's a long-ass travel.
Thavner, home to city-state Rads at Han. Rising from the southeast waters of the Bounty, this Isle of Plenty served as the battleground for a conflict between two peoples.
And they were?
Their cultures bled into one another until a unique amalgamation was distilled from the chaos, in a process not unlike their precious alchemy. Once solidified as a single nation, an adamant stance of neutrality would hold invaders at bay. For a time.
Well, there's one of the towers, so...
Now across this vibrant isle creeps a fog of malice. What choice do you have?
That architecture looks steampunk Thai? I'd say it's more like, Indian architecture, I'd say.
What chance?
At least the coloring. Not Native American Indian, but... Sorry.
Against such an insidious foe.
Thavnir, Ilsabard. Same region makes sense. Oh, okay. Never mind. That's how much I know about the world. Very little.
Faces after a bout of bad shellfish. Let me bring you something to drink. That should help settle your bellies.
There was a note with Kryle's instructions.
What'd it say?
Don't let a Stinian roam the markets alone. He's alarmingly bad with coin.
Oh no. You tell me this now? Fine. We'll go get him. Man, look at this place. It's all colorful and shit. Oh, okay. Attune. Eat its ether sickness. You get shit from me. Oh, no, never mind. You there. I need 3 drinks, something that helps with ether sickness. But by the Manusia, a traveler, greetings and welcome. You are wise, good sir, to come to me. My special Amra Lassi, made with only the finest and freshest ingredients, is famed for calming unruly bellies. By way of a warm welcome to Thavnir, I'm pleased to offer it to you for the low price of 19,800 gil. For not 1, not 2, but 3 bottles of bargain amongst bargains. let's see. Deny. Where's my deny? I cannot keep on doing this ether sickness thing, so yeah, I need this fixed quickly before I end stream. Fine, I'll just slash it. No. I thought you could barely stand. What do you need to tell me that's so urgent? Wait, I shouldn't buy the lassie. This merchant is swindling me. Wah! Sincerest apologies, sir, but I appear to have my prices confused. It's actually 1,890 gil for the 3 bottles of lassie. That confusion would have been quite costly for both of us. Very well then, your coin. Here, a bottle for each of you. Take them to the others and get some rest. I'll be back after I've explored the town. Can I drink this bottle now? I guess not. I guess it's in a cutscene, so fine. Praise be to the 12, my stomach doth loosen its death grip. My heartfelt thanks to thee and Estinian and to the fine fruits of this land. Sweet, sweet release. If you haven't already, you should have yours too. Yeah, please, thanks. Right, I'm ready to get on with it. That lassie truly worked wonders. When did you suddenly turn Scottish? Back on your feet, I see. Thy hair. What about it? I have bound it. 'Tis the most I could do against this heat, short of shedding my armor. May I ask where you got the cord for it? A local vendor. The man said it's a Thavnarian weave, tough and not easily unraveled. And how much did it cost? 9,400 gil? A steal, I was told. 'Tis nothing fancy, but I've always functioned over phone. Why did we let him wander off? That's incredible. I dare say not even Alphanal could hold the candle to you. It's not uncommon for merchants to set their prices high, but doesn't it seem excessive here? I am inclined to agree with thine assessment. It doth seem excessive, unusually so. What does that say? Calming Thavnir as its dominion, the nation of Radzat-Han hath long thrived as a hub of commerce. In the beginning, there were the Arcasadora, a Matanga tribe indigenous to this island. Over time, they came to be joined by other races, and through their intermingling, a culture rich and distinct did emerge. From alchemy to textiles, the products of Hanish culture have come to be celebrated and coveted the world over, a development only aided by the nation's prime location as a waypoint betwixt east and west. All of this hath combined to make a trading power of Radzat-Han, yet such a status cannot be taken for granted. Nay, it must needs be maintained through judicious governance and stringent regulation. Neither of which I see any evidence, given that merchants at a gateway town are free to fleece hapless travelers and tarnish the reputation of the nation at large. Just so, that opportunistic pricing is rampant doth suggest that oversight is much weakened, or mayhap that the people have fallen upon hard times. Whatever the truth may be, 'twould be prudent to ascertain the current state of affairs. prudent and practical. Aye, we have not to lose by learning more. So, ere we seek out Kral's acquaintance, shall we see what information we can gather in Yedelmad? Excellent. We didn't exactly get off to a flying start, but we'll make up for it. Nice. Alright then, everybody. That is going to have to do it for today's episode of Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. If you haven't already and you enjoyed what you saw here today and you want to support the channel in any way, leaving a follow would be really appreciated. Like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and follow me follow me over on Twitter to stay up to date for when I go live next. Sadface.com. I'm sorry, Skyro, but I gotta get going. I will see you guys next time, and yeah. And I would normally, you know, like, actually, you know what, I think I still could raid somebody. So yeah, let's raid Brixo. Yeah, let's raid out. Alright, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.